Good morning. Happy Saturday. Hey, today is July 31st, last day of July. Man, it has been a wet one in here in Arizona, so which is amazing. So thank God we got some good rain and hopefully filling up some of our lakes here. We need it in Arizona. All right, I'm going to go over three main things. I'm going to go over why not all pre-approvals are the same and what to watch out for. I'm going to talk about refinance questions and questions to ask and things to think about as you think about your home strategy. I'm also going to go over market update and what's going on in the bond market and interest rate market as well. So one thing that happened this week was reminding me to bring up that not all pre-approvals are the same. So I had a client that came to us for a loan through a referral. We set up his options. We gathered his documentation. We qualified him for a certain amount. That amount was a little bit lower than he was qualified elsewhere. And this was on a quick online, get your loan done quickly type of situation. That's all great. We could do it quickly too, but it has to be accurate. It's not great if it's done in 7 minutes, but it's not accurate. That's a problem. So in this case, what they did was they took the verbal income from the client and rather than actually digging and asking the right questions about what actual income was there and how can they qualify. After I let him know what questions to go back and ask him and say, hey, just make sure you want to have the accurate pre-approval. He asked the right questions, and it's better to find out now than later. He was able to get that corrected, and they actually were not able to qualify him after that. So we're happily helping him out now. I just want to use that to remind you just to ask the right questions. If something doesn't seem right, you're typically not going to slip one past the goalie down the road. You might get, the initial yes, but you might get initial, a no at the end of it. So be very careful there. And on refinances, this is a very common situation right now where we get a question, hey, do you think we should refinance? Well, I need to kind of stop and say, really, what's most important to you? And if you worked with me before, I always ask, what's most important to you about the mortgage? Mortgage is one of the biggest debts of your lives. So our job is to make sure we professionally manage that debt and make sure it's going to fit into your long-term and short-term goals. So let's slow down and ask what's most important to you. If the loan officer or lender you're talking to doesn't even ask that, that may be also an issue. Now, what I would say is just ask yourself, what's your timeline, your home strategy? So how long do you want to keep the home for, right? So do you want to keep it for 5 years and then sell it? Or do you want to keep it for 30 years and then keep it as a generational second home, or keep it as a rental house? Maybe it's your first home and you want to keep it and keep that payment low. So in that situation where we have people that are looking at saving a little bit of money on a 15-year rate, the rate might be lower, but the payment's a lot higher. And if you go refinance a house you're living in now, but you want to rent out down the road into a 15-year, that payment may exceed what the market rents will allow for, and now you don't cash flow the property. So you have to be looking at long-term and the long-term strategy. Again, if your lender's not asking these questions, be careful. They got to be understanding your overall picture and what the strategy is. Super important. And then also go over a quick market update. We have a situation where bond market just continues to rally, which is pushing interest rates or keeping interest rates at a low level. We haven't seen a crazy significant drop, but it is staying low. One of the things that we're watching is this COVID-19 Delta variant. It's putting some fears back into the U.S. that they may have to do some shutdowns or some mask mandates, and there's a lot of controversy about that. So I'm not going to get into that, but that's something that is leading to some fears. There's also some tension right now between U.S. and China that is affecting the bond market. So money is moving back into the bond market, which does help interest rates. And also we have a huge buyer, which is the Fed, that continues to buy mortgage-backed securities. This, just the other day on Friday, they bought $4.6 billion of mortgage-backed securities. So that's a huge buyer in the market. So it'll be interesting to see when they start slowing that down. But time will only tell. We have we have continually have great jobless claims, and the inflation numbers are still right around where they're anticipating them to be at, but they are looking at a possible slowdown as well on that, like we talked about last week. So if you have any questions on refinancing or need a second opinion, let me know. If you're out shopping for a house, happy house shopping, just make sure the pre-approval is solid. If anything changes on your pre-approval too, that's important to let your lender know if something does change on it, whether it's a job change or whether you're going to put more money down or less money down. We have situations where, we qualify with 35, 40% down, and then we get a call and say, hey, I want to put 10% down. Well, that can change your loan significantly. So make sure you let either myself or your lender know what the changes are. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. And if you need anything, as always, message me, call me, or text me on the number on the screen. We're happy to help, and we'll jump into action. Underserved. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.